IBM, the company that in 1933 decided to work with Germany and a gentleman called Adolf, created their first computers to help this gentleman with his democide of millions of people in Europe. This company right now has, without your consent, taken most likely your photo to their facial recognition database system. And this information is coming out right now from this article. And it's absolutely, we also have a video we're going to go over, Jason. But Jason, there's a lot of consequences here that people don't recognize, but are extremely important to see with the technological advancement and pretty much destruction of our civil liberties.
Yeah, it should be noted that in this article, IBM will not reveal how it obtains these photographs and from what databases they take it. But for one instance, they had to admit that they had used Flickr. So if we scroll down here, Luke, I want to let people know.
This is terrifying. People, hold on. Before we get into the bigger context here, millions of online photos were taken without consent. I used to use Flickr back in, this is so long ago. I don't know if Flickr's still around, but like millions. So if you use Flickr or other things and other things that we don't even know about, which we should, you're most likely in this facial recognition database now, which is absolutely terrifying. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, the numbers, according to this article, are 100 million and then curated down to 1 million photos by IBM alone. Now, this goes into hundreds of different academic papers that have been published by different universities. You have somebody from New York University talking about the dirty little secret that these are actually taken without the consent of the users. We've been talking about big data and valuation for quite some time. You can go and actually search your username to find out if you are in this database. But what's really alarming is that we're going to go over a video here, and this woman is quite different from the article. She's talking about it from a business and ethical standpoint. And she starts talking about how even though facial recognition has improved, it is very hard to use on darker toned skin people and women, and provides a lot of false positives. And she says, well, when law enforcement is doing that, that means that they may facially recognize somebody on a CCTV camera footage, start an investigation of that person, falsely arrest them, charge them, and they go to jail for something that they haven't done. The double-edged sword to that, Luke, is, oh, let's improve it so we can get a better read on everybody and track and trace and database them. So let's go over this piece by piece.
On making ethical and inclusive technologies. And what our research has shown is some of these systems have gender bias, some of them have racial bias, and so how do we then make sure the systems we're creating actually include a full spectrum of humanity?
So let's stop it there. I know you love gender bias. And,
yeah, I mean, there's nothing ethical with IBM. Literally, the company that built the computers that helped the freaking democide in Germany during World War II. Like, holy cow, like there's nothing ethical here. It's terrifying. You look at facial recognition, again, it's sold to you as convenience, your safety. They talk about how facial recognition could log you into your iPhone, track your criminals, track criminals, identify loyal customers in stores. I remember earlier on, I used to tell people, hey, put a sticker, put a Band-Aid over your laptop camera. Like, no, it's fine. You're a crazy conspiracy theorist. No, it's been caught time and time again. Governments, corporations, and even criminals could hack into your system, watch you, and extort you. There's been horrible stories. And this story is only becoming more terrifying because on Facebook, you really do get to see how effective the facial recognition is. People could take a photo of you. You're automatically tagged in it, whether you know the person or not. You could go through a whole database of people taking photos of you, and it's terrifying because it's very, very good. And this person talking about an ethical right way, like, no. It's absolutely terrifying, Jason.
Yeah, Luke, and I want to let everybody know, when you talk about the Nazis and you talk about IBM, we're talking about the tabulating punch card system that they used to regulate all of their prisoners, all of their internment camps, and beyond. I mean, they were using that, and without them, they would not have been so efficient. But this woman hey, they've got gender biases, they've got racial biases. We better make the technology better so we can track, trace, and database everybody.
And make it a social justice warrior. Put a coffee latte hippie.
Give me an example.
Sure. So one of our biggest studies is called Gender Shades. And I had this experience of coding in a white mask to have my face detected. I was like, why am I wearing a white mask? So I started looking at
why are you using facial recognition in the first place?
I tested systems from IBM. I tested systems from Microsoft and Face++, a billion-dollar tech company in China. Turns out they all work better on men's faces than women's faces. They all work better on lighter faces than darker faces. And for darker skinned women, highly melanated like my skin, they had error rates of up to 47%.
Why does that matter? Where's the impact?
So the reason this matters is you have facial recognition being used by law enforcement. So in the UK, you actually have false positive match rates of over 90%.
Let's stop that. In the UK,
she's talking about like this is a great thing. It's not. It's terrifying. Let's go on.
In the UK, I remember when I did Invisible Empire, and they had such a mammoth amount of CCTV cameras then, it was almost insurmountable. We're now almost 10 years later. The technology has gotten that much better. It's not just the United Kingdom. China is running rampant with this type of software. But in a Western...
people need to understand in China right now, if you jaywalk, right, and there's a facial recognition AI camera, right, that takes a photo of you, automatically it recognizes you, takes money out of your bank account, and notifies you without your consent and puts you up on a wall of shame. That's how it is in China for just jaywalking. Imagine being out at 3 o'clock in the morning, no cars around anywhere. You decide to, you're in a rush. You decide to cross the street when the light's not green. Bam, you're fined. $100 taken out of your bank account automatically, and you're on some freaking wall of shame. This is absolutely insane with the micromanagement of human society. And this lady talking about exclusivity and it's very, she's absolute insane. She's crazy, Jason. Sorry.
She's pretty excited. And you know what? I wanna continue.
Mad.
I want to continue playing it. Maybe we'll play this whole thing through because at the very end she says something really startling. But there's a lot of good nuggets in here.
She's pretty much like, people of darker shade can't be tracked, controlled, databased, and watched over by big daddy government. This is a problem. We need big daddy government and the corporatocracy to watch us and keep us safe. Go ahead.
As criminal suspects. The ACLU did a study where they had 28 Congress members erroneously matched with mugshot database photos from
because
Amazon.
They're criminals.
Then you have companies like HireVue that say we can analyze your face, we can analyze your voice and use verbal and nonverbal cues to see if you're going to be a good employee.
So stop there.
Employee. A good employee. Are you going to be a good employee by your little facial recognition, big brother, anal probe kind of technology that's going to want to know every little detail about your life? Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like a wonderful thing for corporations like Amazon to have that are working on this technology, by the way, that are selling to ICE, but no left-wing kind of outcry around that. Amazon, where literally there was a whole report just a few days ago talking about how those reporters are, the people who are working in Amazon, there's a higher suicide rate because of the slave kind of conditions that they have to go through, literally peeing in bottles. People in the Amazon factories pee in bottles with horrible draconian situations and an environment to deal with because of Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the freaking world. Not really, but artificially, one of the richest men in the world. I can't say enough about how stupid this is.
Again, she also talked about verbal cues. So it's not just facial recognition, it's verbal cues working in conjunction to find out, Luke, if you're going to be a good employee. Are you going to be a good employee, Luke? Like, think about the repercussions of that. Now you're going to have an AI database while you're sitting there interviewing with people. And it won't just be
credit score like they have in China.
It won't just be people sitting there deciding, you know what? I got a good feeling about this guy. He seems to be pretty good. He's got a nice little resume. No, it'll be some AI superbot being like, I didn't like his brow movement.
He spit a little bit. He cursed. Man, that person freaking jaywalks, doesn't follow every stupid rule by the book to the T. Hell, we can't give him his corporate slave job. We can't enslave him. That's really what the corporatocracy is doing, pretty much creating a situation where people can't even live off the bullcrap conditions that they create for us as the globalists steal all of our money. I'm sorry. I'm really mad at this.
Let's keep going.
So if you don't match the characteristics they're looking for their current top employees, you might get denied a job because of your face. So I call this failed machine learning, failing freedom, money, love, right? So freedom, you have the law enforcement, money, economic opportunity, and even
law enforcement is freedom.
Total slavery. Look at the reporter loving it. The reporter like, oh, this is so great. Yeah, we're gonna have total control by the overlords, the technocratic yuppies, the limousine liberals are gonna tell us what to do and have control of every aspect of our lives. This is so awesome and great. They love this. This is God. What happened to this world? We're screwed, Jason. We're screwed. I'm going down. I'm moving down to some beach. No 5G, no cell phone towers. I'm going to Latin America. I'll see you later.
I'm going to continue.
Dating apps. I was on a dating app that uses facial recognition. Said it couldn't detect my face, so I couldn't get on the app.
Oh my goodness. Help me understand, do these companies realize this? Was this an unintended consequence? Was it an error or was it intentional?
So from what we can see in talking to the companies, many didn't know this was an issue because our basic ways of seeing how well these systems work are flawed. So we had a false sense of progress, and that's what our technology and our research showed. So for example, with facial recognition technology, everyone's like, great, this is good tech. We looked at the benchmarks, the data sets they used to say how well these technologies are doing. They turned out to be pale male data sets. So you have a data set that's over 75% male faces, over 80% lighter skin faces, and that's what you use.
Pale male data sets. I just had to stop it there. Pale male data sets. But don't worry,
racist.
Luke.
The machines are racist, Jason.
Listen, don't worry. We're going to make it not racist. We're going to get you all
using to say how well do these systems work. So when we created our more inclusive data set with better balance of women, better balance of skin types, we found that they didn't work quite as well as they thought they did. So companies weren't aware at first, but now many of the companies we've audited have actually closed these gaps.
So they want to close the gap?
They do, because if you have faulty technology and we're showing it, nobody's going to buy from you.
I want to play that one more time. If you don't have good technology, Luke, no one's going to buy from you. All about that dollar.
If the companies we've audited have actually closed these gaps.
So they want to close the gap?
They do, because if you have faulty technology and we're showing it, nobody's going to buy from you.
Evil, corporatist, forcing people to live in this search track database matrix of just total enslavement. That's literally where we're going to. This is... I mean, the glee from this reporter, the glee from this, I think she's a robot. This lady could be a robot with just the context here and the insanity of just the total lack of hindsight to the negativity of this. We're just cheering it on. It's such happiness. It's incredulous. It's shocking. I got nothing else to say. I give up on humanity.
I do not give up on humanity. In fact, folks, we need your support more than ever. We've got a backup channel. We got a main channel. Please subscribe to both. Ring those bells for notifications. Share this stuff on social media. And most importantly, Luke, if you don't want to be tracked, traced, and database and turn into some slave, you got to be the change you want to see in the world.
Don't be on social media. Seriously. Let's all run away to some beach or something. I don't know. See you guys later.